They say the night shift sees everything. The security guards, the custodians, the people who clean up after everyone else goes home. We're invisible until something goes wrong. Then suddenly everyone wants to know what we saw. You want to know what I saw, Captain Mitchell? I saw a woman destroy evidence of a patient's death. I saw her set a fire to cover it up. I saw her run and leave me to burn. Everyone thinks this story is about a hospital fire, but that's not where this fire started. The real fire started 3 months ago, when a patient died, and someone decided that secret was worth killing for. If you've ever been invisible to people who think they're better than you, you'll understand this story. Subscribe and comment where you're watching from. My name is James Rodriguez, and I'm 45 years old. For the last 20 years, I've worked the night shift as a custodian at City General Hospital 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 5 nights a week. I clean floors, empty trash, sanitize rooms. I'm there when the day staff goes home and gone before they come back. Most people don't see me. They walk past me in the hallways like I'm furniture. Doctors, nurses, administrators, I'm invisible to them. But I see everything. 3 months ago, I started seeing something that kept me up during the day when I should have been sleeping. Administrator Karen Walsh was acting strange. Karen Walsh ran City General. Mid-50s, always wore expensive suits, always looked like she had everything under control. She'd been at the hospital for 15 years. But something changed. For 3 months, I watched her destroy documents, meet with lawyers in empty rooms late at night, yell at staff on the phone to lose files. I'd hear her when she thought no one was around. I don't care what you have to do. Lose that file. The family signed the NDA. It's handled. Stop asking questions. I'm invisible, but I'm not deaf. The incident happened 3 months ago. A patient named Lisa Brennan, 62 years old, died 2 days after routine gallbladder surgery. The night shift talked. Medication error, wrong dosage post-surgery, cardiac arrest. Should never have happened. But then people started disappearing. 3 nurses transferred within a week. The charge nurse took early retirement. The surgeon went on extended medical leave. Files vanished from the records room. I clean that room. I know where everything goes. Walsh paid the family fast. Settlement, NDA, all done within 2 weeks. Then I started finding shredded incident reports in her trash. Pieces with words like protocol failure, systemic issue, negligence. That's when I understood this wasn't one nurse's mistake. The medication protocols weren't being followed hospital-wide. Walsh knew. She'd known for months, maybe years, and she'd done nothing to fix it. Lisa Brennan died because of that negligence, and now Walsh was covering it up. If the truth came out, City General would lose its accreditation lawsuits, federal investigations, her career over, maybe criminal charges, so she was burying it, threatening staff, destroying evidence. I'm just a custodian. 2 kids in college, an ex-wife I pay alimony to, a 1-bedroom apartment I can barely afford. I need this job. But a woman died, and her family deserved to know the truth. Then one Tuesday night, I found it. It was 2 a.m. on a Tuesday in late September. Walsh's office was dark, unusual for her. I went in to empty her trash. At the bottom of the can, a crumpled piece of paper. Official hospital letterhead. I pulled it out, smoothed it. Incident report. Confidential patient name. Lisa Brennan. Date of incident. June 18th. Type. Medication error. Post-operative care. The report detailed everything the wrong dosage. The nurse who made the error. But more importantly, it documented that medication protocols had been flagged as unclear and inadequate months before multiple staff had raised concerns. Nothing had been done. This was proof the hospital knew there was a problem and ignored it. Proof that Lisa Brennan's death was preventable, and Walsh had thrown it in the trash. I stood there, heart pounding. Take it and risk everything, or let it disappear forever. I folded the report and put it in my pocket. Then I went to the basement records room. I have access. I clean it every night. I made 3 copies on the old machine in the corner. The machine logged every copy with a date and timestamp, but I didn't care anymore. I put the original in my locker, put the copies in my backpack. The next few days, I worked my shifts like normal, but Walsh was getting more paranoid. She was reviewing security footage constantly, pacing in her office, making frantic calls. She knew someone had taken something. She just didn't know who yet. On Thursday, I mailed one copy to the state medical board. Anonymous, no return address. Mailed another to a local investigative journalist, kept the third copy hidden at home. The truth was out there now. It was done. I planned to resign within a few weeks, find another job before it hit just disappear. But Friday night, everything changed. I arrived for my shift at 7 p.m. on Friday. Started my rounds. Around 9 p.m., I was mopping near the administrative wing when I saw Walsh in her office, staring at her computer. Security footage. She was watching security footage. My stomach dropped. At 11 p.m., I was in the basement break room when she appeared in the doorway. "James," her voice was tight, controlled. "I need to talk to you. Records room. Now." "I'm in the middle of—" "Now." She walked down the hallway. I had no choice but to follow. The records room was at the end of a long basement corridor, isolated. No cameras inside. Privacy regulations for patient files. Walsh unlocked the door. I walked in. She locked it behind us. Filing cabinets lining the walls. Shelves of old files stacked to the ceiling. The copy machine in the corner, light blinking. Walsh stood between me and the door, arms crossed. "You took something from my office," she said. Not a question. A statement. "I don't know what you're—" "Don't," she cut me off. "I reviewed the security footage. I saw you at my trash can on Tuesday. Then I checked the copy machine logs." She walked to the machine, pulled out a piece of paper taped behind it. 3 copies. "Made at 2:47 a.m. on Wednesday. The day after you were in my office." I didn't say anything. "Where is it?" Her voice was shaking. "Where's the report?" "I don't have it." "Where is it?" She was in my face now, using her height to intimidate. "It doesn't matter," I said quietly. "It's already done." Her face went white. "What did you do?" "I sent copies to the state medical board and a journalist 2 days ago. They already have it." She just stared at me, processing. Then her face went from white to red. "You destroyed this hospital," she whispered. "Do you understand what you've done? Hundreds of people work here, hundreds of jobs gone because of you." "A woman died," I said. "Lisa Brennan died because protocols weren't being followed. You knew there were problems and you did nothing." "I was fixing it. I was implementing new protocols, retraining staff." "You were covering it up, destroying evidence, threatening people." "To save the hospital," she was screaming now. "One mistake, one patient, that's all it was. I couldn't let that destroy everything we've built here." "It wasn't one mistake. The report says staff raised concerns for months. You ignored them." "You're a custodian." She grabbed my shirt, shook me. "You empty trash cans. You don't get to decide what's right. You don't get to destroy people's lives." I pulled away. "I didn't destroy anything. You did, when you let that woman die and did nothing." She was pacing now, frantic, running her hands through her hair. "They'll investigate. They'll find everything. The settlement, the NDAS, the transfers. I'll lose my license. I could go to prison." "You should have thought about that 3 months ago." She stopped, looked at me with pure hatred. "Where's the original report?" "Doesn't matter, they have copies." "I need the original. I can claim you fabricated it, forged the documents. It's your word against mine, a custodian versus a hospital administrator." She went to the copy machine, started pulling at it, trying to get to the hard drive. "The machine logs prove I copied a real document," I said. "Then I'll destroy the machine." She yanked the power cord. The machine died. I stepped toward her. "What are you doing?" She pulled out the hard drive from the back, held it in her hand. "If there's no log, there's no proof you copied anything." She pulled a lighter from her pocket. "No," she said. "I'm practical." She flicked the lighter, held the flame to the hard drive. Plastic started to melt, smoke curling. "Stop!" I moved toward her. She dropped it, panicked by the heat. It hit the floor, still smoking. Then she grabbed papers from the nearest filing cabinet. Old patient files, held the lighter to them. They caught instantly. The papers erupted in flames, bright orange, fast spreading. Walsh dropped them in shock. The burning papers landed on a pile of old files on the floor. Files marked for digitization but never processed decades of paper. The fire spread like water. "Oh my God," Walsh whispered. I grabbed the fire extinguisher from the wall, pulled the pin aimed. The foam shot out, hit the flames, but there was too much paper. The fire just moved around it, found new files. Smoke filled the room, thick and black. "Help me," I shouted. She just stared at the fire. Then she ran. She unlocked the door, threw it open, and sprinted down the hallway. "Wait!" I yelled. "Help me put it out!" She didn't look back. I was alone. The fire had spread to the filing cabinets. Metal doesn't burn, but paper inside does. Drawers open, files exposed, everything catching. I tried the extinguisher again. It sputtered. Empty. The smoke was choking me, my eyes burning. I couldn't see more than a few feet. I needed to get out. I turned toward the door, but flames blocked my path. Fire across the floor, climbing the shelves near the doorway. I couldn't go that way. I dropped low, trying to find clean air. There wasn't any. My lungs were burning, coughing so hard I couldn't stand. I crawled along the floor, feeling my way. My hands touched hot metal, filing cabinet, too hot to grab. Then I felt it. Cool air. A draft. The back door. The delivery entrance. I crawled toward it, found the handle, pulled, locked. I reached up, felt for the deadbolt, turned it. The door swung open. Cool air rushed in. I crawled through into the back hallway, gasping. Behind me, the fire roared louder, fed by fresh oxygen. I had to warn people. I stood, stumbled down the hallway, found a fire alarm on the wall, pulled it. The alarm shrieked through the hospital. Loud, piercing, lights flashing, automated announcement. Code red, fire in basement level. All staff initiate evacuation protocol. I kept moving up the stairs. My legs felt like rubber, every breath agony. First floor. Nurses were already moving patients, wheelchairs rolling toward exits, staff checking rooms. I stumbled out the main entrance and collapsed on the sidewalk. Someone shouted, "We need a medic!" Hands grabbed me, lowered me down, oxygen mask over my face. Just breathe. Slow breaths. But I couldn't stop coughing, black soot every time. In the distance, sirens. Getting closer, fire trucks arrived within minutes. Multiple units, crews jumping out. I was on the sidewalk with an oxygen mask, watching them work. Hoses foam. Teams entering through different points. A firefighter approached, tall, broad shoulders. "Sir, I'm Captain Mitchell. Were you inside when the fire started?" I nodded, couldn't speak yet. "Take your time. When you're ready, can you tell me where the fire is?" I pulled the mask down. "Basement, records room." I pulled the alarm. "Good. Are you injured?" "Smoke inhalation. Burns on my hands." The paramedic confirmed. 2nd-degree burns, both palms. Significant smoke exposure. We need to transport. Captain Mitchell nodded. "Was anyone else with you?" I looked at him. This was it. "Karen Walsh," I said. "Administrator, she started it." His expression didn't change. "She started the fire?" "She was trying to burn evidence. A hard drive, patient files. It got out of control. She ran." "Where is she now?" "I don't know. She left me there, locked the door." Another firefighter jogged over. "Captain, fire's contained. Records room destroyed, but we stopped the spread. Everyone's accounted for except Hospital Administrator Karen Walsh." Captain Mitchell looked at me. "Can you tell me what happened?" So I did. While the paramedic bandaged my hands, while foam poured into basement windows, I told Captain Mitchell everything: the patient who died, the cover-up, the incident report I found, the copies I mailed, Walsh confronting me, the lighter, the fire, her running. "She knew I sent the reports to the medical board," I said. "She knew it was over. She panicked." Captain Mitchell was writing in a notebook. "And she locked you inside?" "Yes, I had to go out the back door." "Dispatch, this is Station 47, he said into his radio. I need police at City General. Possible arson. Suspect fled the scene. Police arrived, took my statement, reviewed security footage, Walsh leading me to records room, then fleeing after fire started. An hour later, an officer returned. We found Karen Walsh at her home packing, trying to leave town. She confessed to starting the fire and locking you in the room. She's under arrest. Arson, attempted destruction of evidence, reckless endangerment. I closed my eyes. It was over. The paramedics took me to the ER. Burns treated, oxygen for hours, chest x-rays, released at dawn. I went home, showered for an hour, collapsed into bed, slept 16 hours when I woke Sunday evening. 27 missed calls. I ignored them all except one, the state medical board. They'd received my report. Investigation had already started. Walsh's arrest accelerated everything. Over the next weeks, everything came out. The medication error that killed Lisa Brennan, the systemic failures Walsh ignored, the cover-up, the destroyed evidence, the threatened staff. The hospital settled with the Brennan family. This time, they got the truth. Hospital protocols were overhauled, new safety measures, new leadership, and they offered me a job. Patient advocate and safety liaison. My job. Be the person staff could come to when they saw something wrong. Listen to the people everyone else ignored. The custodians, the cafeteria workers, the security guards. Same pay. Better hours. Daylight shifts I accepted. 6 months later, I was in my office when one of the night shift custodians came to see me. "James, I need to talk about something I saw." I gestured to the chair. "I'm listening." She told me about a doctor falsifying patient charts. Nothing life-threatening, just fudging numbers to look better. I took notes, thanked her, told her I'd look into it. She stood to leave, paused at the door. "They said you saved the hospital when you pulled that alarm." I was just trying to get out. "No," she said. "You were trying to tell the truth. That's what saved the hospital." After she left, I sat there looking at my office window. I could see outside, see people coming and going. I wasn't invisible anymore, but I hadn't forgotten what it felt like, and I never would.
That was James Rodriguez. I'm Captain Dean Mitchell, Station 47. We got the call at 11:47 p.m. on a Friday night. Hospital fire, basement level, active evacuation. When we arrived, smoke was visible from the street and staff were wheeling patients outside. James was on the sidewalk, covered in soot, oxygen mask on, hands burned. He'd pulled the alarm that evacuated the hospital. Administrator Karen Walsh started the fire while trying to destroy evidence. She used a lighter to burn a computer hard drive and patient files. The fire spread in the paper-filled records room. She fled, locking James inside. He escaped through a back entrance and pulled the alarm. Walsh was arrested hours later at her home, trying to flee. She confessed to arson, attempted destruction of evidence, and reckless endangerment. She's currently serving 8 years. The investigation into Lisa Brennan's death revealed systemic protocol failures at City General. The hospital overhauled its safety procedures. The Brennan family received a settlement and the truth about what happened. James now works as patient advocate at City General, making sure staff concerns, especially from people others don't usually listen to, are heard. I've been fighting fires for 18 years. The most dangerous fires aren't always the ones you can see burning. Sometimes they're smoldering in trash cans, in shredders, in offices where people try to hide the truth. James spent 20 years emptying those trash cans, being invisible to the doctors and administrators who walked past him every day, but he was watching, listening, seeing what they thought no one would see. The night shift sees everything. Custodians who clean your floors, security guards who watch your cameras, people who empty your trash and restock your supplies. They're invisible until something goes wrong. Then suddenly they're the ones who know exactly what happened, because they've been paying attention the whole time. When Karen Walsh set that fire, she thought she was destroying the last piece of evidence. She didn't know James had already sent copies to the state medical board 2 days earlier. She didn't know because she'd never bothered to see him as anything more than the guy who emptied her trash. That invisibility was his protection and his power. James could have stayed quiet, kept his head down, kept being invisible. He had 2 kids in college. He needed that job. But a woman had died, and her family deserved to know why. So James risked everything to tell the truth. And when that truth put him in a burning room, trapped and alone, he still found a way out. He still pulled that alarm. He still saved everyone in that hospital. Not because he was a hero, because he understood that doing the right thing matters more than being safe. If you're the person everyone overlooks, the one in the background, the one people don't see, Remember this, being invisible doesn't mean you're powerless. Sometimes it means you're the only one paying attention. Sometimes it means you see the truth everyone else is trying to hide. And sometimes, when everything's burning down, you're the one who pulls the alarm. I'm Captain Dean Mitchell, Station 47. Stay safe out there.